degree at the Scottish Rite in Boise. And the purpose here is to explore common concepts with people who have various perspectives, beliefs, religions, etc., in order to reach a common truth. So that's really the goal, to have those good conversations. First thing we need to do, very simply, is just take a second to clear out everything up to this moment. Anything you got going on, work, life, health issues, family, whatever, just let those things go and just be present where we are so we can really reflect and communicate well with each other in that aspect. And the tribe is set up with 3 sessions here built out around the 5 key tenets. So we have 5 main tenets that we'll hit at least 3 times, 3 different sessions from various different perspectives. The first one being harmony. And so we're going to look at 3 different groups' ideas about harmony and then just allow discussion to flow naturally from what we see and what they say. Feel free to contribute, but just listening is fine too. No, you don't have to add anything. Just no over talking, as we learned from COVID and online kind of things. We're in one room here, so it's nice and easy. No over talking, or trying to prove a point, or bullying is not going to be tolerated. I also put in a little bit just to think for most people when they hear the word harmony, they think music, harmonics, they think balance, equality. So our first piece here after that quick introduction is harmony in Stoicism. And Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy, originated in Athens around 300 BC and quickly became one of the most influential philosophies of the ancient world. Stoicism is fundamentally concerned with the development of personal virtues as a means of achieving a good and fulfilling life. Harmony in Stoicism goes beyond mere balance and encompasses a profound alignment of, quote, one's actions and thoughts with the rational order of the cosmos, often described as living according to nature. Stoics believe that by cultivating the personal virtues that we have out there, wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, one can achieve a state of inner tranquility and effectively navigate the challenges of life. Big thought bubble. But it encompasses a lot. So if anybody has anything, if they know about Stoicism, some people know more about some of these areas and stuff. And again, I'm just pulling brief little tidbits of research there. So, if anybody has anything or...
I don't know anything about Stoicism, but that's puts into words what how I try to live my life. I think that the area that I'm weakest in is courage. That I'm learning it.
Really? I think you do pretty good.
I don't think she feels like confident in that. We talk a lot about those things, and we both have that.
There's areas that I feel that I've got courage in, but when it comes to relationships, I think is where I'm learning to have more courage to say what I feel.
You have a lot of areas that you, avenues that you go down to do research and to work on yourself, which I love. I learn a lot from you when it comes to that.
And I'm sorry, Wayne, did you say the Hellenistic belief is part of Sufi or
No, this
Islamic,
is ancient Athens, 300 BC. So their beliefs, of course, transmit forward, and so then the next 2 groups are also not connected with them, but they have that overarching idea or a connection, if you will, to some kind of other deeper knowledge, right? Trying to pull those different ideas together because they're working in a mindset that we see a lot still in different philosophies. We see it a lot. Barry and I do in the Masonic Lodge. It's a lot of the structure that we have. Wisdom, truth, justice, those different kind of things. We pull those forward. So it's just sort of like enduring concepts. The next one is harmony in King James Bible. And found this from Peter 3:8 through 12. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one on another, love as a brethren. Be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing. But contrariwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refuge his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. But let him eschew evil and do good. Let him speak peace and ensue it. For the eyes of the Lord are ever righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. So I thought that this was a nice counterpiece when you get through the King James. The basic line, though, of having compassion for others, pulling that together, sort of connecting what they're saying 300 BC, what they're saying in the King James in those different kind of sections. Sort of fits under that, how we have harmony with each other by being compassionate with each other in that kind of an aspect.
Understanding, not judging, putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Right.
Helps to build bridges, connections,
Right.
if everybody's open in those kind of aspects. And then the third piece goes even further off into another varying aspect. So we took some harmony from the ancient Celts as well, to see what they were saying and what their belief was. So we've got a setup there with them. Power of threes in the Celtic tradition. What is most powerful once is all the more powerful in threes. The idea is that they have the triple mother, the triple goddess, creates harmony in nature, emblems of abundance, fertility, and nurturing. To the Celts, Bridget is the most celebrated goddess, emblematic of healing, herbalism, midwives, smiths, technology like the Smith's Forge, because that was a form of technology. And they called her also the fire goddess over that creation of fire in the forge. Bridget survived the conversion of Christianity as an Irish Christian saint, and she basically is the one over compassion, healing, and peacemaking. Comes from this book here. So.
She's now a Christian saint.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of her, but I didn't know much about her.
Look, you're going to say something back there.
I was just gonna say with the power of three thing, it connects the what you said about what's powerful once is more powerful in threes. Connects also to the Wiccan religion and pagan religions. They have a rule of three where they believe if you put positivity or negativity into the universe, it'll come back to you 3 times.
Which is why, as it says, today she's revered highly by pagans, Wiccans, and feminists for those different kind of aspects, but they still have that combination of those beliefs of her. There's a lot in here that actually, when you take a look and you go through, it's sort of into that realm too, where a lot of these groups aren't meeting, but they're having the same ideas. So how are they coming up with the similar ideas if they're not in conversation? They're not necessarily sharing their information with each other.
And as I say, you see so many connections. You
Yeah.
can make so many connections.
Yeah,
Universal thought.
yeah.
collective consciousness. But it is interesting to see that.
You don't recognize it to somebody's,
It's in
Teaching.
in front of you like that.
yeah, and explaining those
Or you don't
connections.
think much about it anyway,
Yeah.
until you.
Yeah.
And again, by no means any scholar in any of these areas. It's just pulling it out, having a desire to figure out where it all stems from. Where is that initial idea of harmony coming from? Where is the other concepts we're going to look at later? Where are they all coming from, and how are they still existing today in those kind of aspects? Anybody else? As at the end will always be these last three slides that we use for that, just to sort of have them there in combination in that kind of an aspect. So, and I can go back if anybody wanted to look at any of the stuff that was there, or had a thought that they wanted to add into it. So.
It's interesting to learn about my heritage of their beliefs,
Oh.
so, yeah.
I always found that everything's mappable.
Mhm.
What was
I
that?
like that word. She's found that everything's mappable.
Mm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just different languages.
Mhm.
As well.
I think that helps people to understand too, if you have those opportunities, or a lot of the guys in our lodge who've been overseas in the forces and stuff like that, they get to talk to other people that the rest of us don't if we're just staying stateside or anything like that, and getting those different touches of meeting different people in their space and seeing what it's like, and those commonalities.
You see commonalities in all religions and so many things, like the flood,
Mhm.
Jesus, the picture of someone that was here, like Buddha, Jesus, and a lot of the different areas in religions that we have so many different connections in. I feel weird telling you this because you and I talk about it all the time. I guess I should look at everything.
Telling the video world.
I-
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm ready for the next.
But this is the main setup is just these three there. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, just
So keep going.
no.
So just keep discussing it all?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to talk anything about it, that's basically what it's for. If not, we'll just meet and learn these little bits, and then maybe people will pull off on their own, and they gain an interest and they want to look at it for themselves or anything like that. And, with the next one next week, we've got 3 different groups, and then we'll be able to look at those 3 and compare with these 3. And don't want to make it heavy loading of a lot of different ideas all at once.
Yeah.
I feel it's better just to be able to just hit a little bit, let it digest, and then the videos are there. People can look at those. If they couldn't make it today, I know there's a number who couldn't make it today, but they can watch the first one and not really feel behind as they come into the next one, and so on and so forth.
So what made you pick out Bridget from here? Is it the main? Oh, Jessica?
It's my book, so.
His
Oh,
consultant.
yeah, that's right, it is.
Helping me
Yeah,
pull
do
the
you have
research.
anything to add to it? I haven't read the book yet, he's taking it from me.
Yeah.
You get it back after today.
So why did you choose Bridget? Wasn't
Go
there,
back to
are
her
there
slide, Dad?
Hmm?
Can you go back to her slide?
That one?
Mhm.
Yeah, I chose Bridget because in the book there's a list of what the different deities
they've got, yeah, the multiple chapters broken down for each of the different ones that they are representative of.
And the topic of harmony, you chose, again, why?
I think it's
Oh,
one
the
of the,
tenets.
yeah, it's one of the big five that I think we don't think about enough. We just sort of go through life on some aspects, but needing to reflect on these five things that I think are very strong, harmony being that first one. Because if you are out of whack, you're not going to be able to do any of these other pieces. And that, again, relates to work, home, whatever the case may be. So having harmony in all,
Right,
it's got to be some kind of a nice concrete base
right.
to build on first.
Well,
Harmony's an issue.
I was mentioning to Nikki earlier that, well, I'm a Libra, so harmony's always been part of my, I don't know, my roots being. And it's kind of been I would think, one of those things that's kind of pulled me along in my life, because I cannot be at a disharmony with people or things. It upsets me, and I have to find a resolution, a way to look at it differently, or think about it differently, or handle it differently in order to be at peace with it. And when I'm not there, I am not connected. I am not grounded. I am not, it's just constantly going through my mind but it's led me to look for answers. So that's kind of been, and it started when I was young. I was raised Catholic, and I just knew that things I was hearing were not true. And I was a little girl, and I just knew that wasn't right. That didn't seem right. And of course, I didn't have anybody to talk to about that. But as I got older, I was able to start looking into that more, talking more about it with a few people and lots of people as I got older. But yeah, I totally agree. For me, I don't know if that's the way for everybody, but for me, that's a definite. I think you have to be in harmony with yourself. I think you have to be in harmony with whatever you call your higher power, that you're connected, how you connect to everything.
Yeah.
And you have to be in harmony with others. I have to be in harmony with others. Those are three key things for me. I've had to learn that over my life. And that's kind of the bottom line for me. Everything else works out if I've got those three things in order.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not in harmony. I never thought of it as that, but it just encompasses my every thought if I'm not feeling that peace, mainly with people, but just in general. And I was raised Catholic too, and I think more of an honest view now, but I've seen, just from knowing you as long as I have, how it's led you down all the paths that you needed. We found some really interesting paths that I love to learn about. Like me.
Yeah, exactly. I have been fortunate that way.
Yeah.
I feel like I have been guided and provided for. I have to say it hasn't always been easy, and it's been lonely at times, but I've learned to embrace it in a really positive way.
What do you think about that topic?
Well,
How do you feel?
like I said, it's the key element. You gotta have everything. Those little disruptions start to ripple with everything else, and just have to build and try to create that. And harmony can mean so many different things. Lack of stress. If you're not stressed, then it's harmony, or it's those different kind of ways of looking at it. Part of the reason I left, part of the reason I left teaching, as you guys know, was just the disharmony in that aspect. Sure, with the job and open a business, and because it wasn't the right thing any longer.
Yeah.
True to help others.
Yeah. Feel much more at ease and relaxed as we're just going into this process, not knowing where it's going, but it feels much more calm in that aspect. So, and again, like I said, it's when we get into things like bliss and some of the others later on down the road, you can't have any of those if you yourself aren't feeling like you're on a good, solid foundation
That's
first.
what I would like to know.
Right.
Harmony, bliss.
That's a great question. I was gonna pull it
Did I
out.
stump the teacher?
Yeah, I was gonna pull it out because right now my nine's not even in the other ones. It's,
You're totally in harmony right now.
yep, thinking about that and coming back here tomorrow morning. So
That's it.
But resolution is the final,
Okay.
the 5. I'll put a screenshot or something in the video to cover up that there.
That's good.
So if anybody has anything else, if not, we'll just
Well,
end for today.
you know your father.
Or,
I gotta say it, because if he was here, he would say it.
yeah.
If you don't have harmony, don't try to sing.
That'll work.
Yeah. Not the truth.
That's what he would have said.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate everybody coming down, and those who are going to check it out online, and hopefully we can see some value in just sort of spitballing on some of these things. And again, as we see with next week when we introduce 3 others, we'll see some ties back, but maybe we'll see some things that don't look like they mix, and then we have to figure out, do they actually, and how those different kind of things can create those ideas. Still, there's every group has their own idea about harmony. They all have it and express it in different ways. So we'll be hitting those and being able to pull all that information together. So